I may serve Count Carvain, but I take commands from the guard captain.
If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The Chapel of St. Martin does not violate the terms of the White Gold Concordat. There is no Talos worship going on here.
It violates the spirit of the White Gold Concordat. I must urge you to cease and desist at once.
Oh? What is the spirit of the White Gold Concordat?
The spirit of the White Gold Concordat is that men are not and can never be gods. Just as Tiber Septim is not a god, nor is Martin Septim.
But what does the Concordat actually say?
The Concordat forbids Talos worship.
No mention of Martin Septim worship, though?
No, there isn't. I must consult with my superiors. Perhaps we will have to petition for a slight amendment to some unfortunately specific wording within the Concordat. We will keep our eyes on your little cult, however. And since it's mourned us, it's time for another warning to all the wonderful citizens of Bruma. Citizens of Bruma, I stand here to remind you of the White Gold Concordat. Its decree, particularly the outlaw of Talos worship, is imperative. Talos worship is a crime, and those committing such heresy will be dealt with swiftly and with great prejudice. Let none say you were not warned. Obey the White Gold Concordat and the Thalmor Justiciars, and you will be spared this fate. I don't believe I've seen you before. Fascinating. A newcomer to Bruma, is that what we have here? A joker, too! Wonderful! Yet another troublemaker for us to keep an eye on. At least if your attempts at sardonicism weren't quite so posturing. Many before you have thought themselves invincible. Above the Thalmor, above the Dominion, above their precious empire and its laws, its concordats. They now find themselves hanging from trees, their decrepit husks wasting away amidst near-endless blizzard. Enjoy your stay in this fair city. Not highly of me, I suppose. Then again, the feeling is mutual. Next, you'll be telling me, my, oh my, not many Gwar in Bruma. Scales of Auriel, thanks for telling me that. I'll be sure to tell all my friends. Put up posters, even. No, I just wear the uniform for fun. Yes, of course I am. I'm here to protect the Aldmeri interests in Bruma, and ensure that the terms of the White Gold Concordat are upheld. Important, given that we're so close to Skyrim and its rebellious little Nords. To hear you speak of civility is somewhat disarming, considering our environs. This city is filled with uncultured louts who I suspect would quickly turn on each other for an ancient bottle of mead. Given that you at least have the vocabulary and mental faculties to understand the concept of civil society, yes, let us speak. But be quick about it. Disarming lack of incorrigible idiocy aside, you are still not my idea of a scintillating conversationalist. No. If anything fruitful is going to come of this conversation, it will not be the sentimental exchange of life stories. Suffice it to say that I am a Thalmor Justiciar operating in Bruma. My identity outside of that is entirely irrelevant. I will put it in simple terms, so perhaps you might understand. The Aldmeri Dominion signed an accord with the Empire, known as the White Gold Concordat. That accord guarantees the Dominion, and by extension the Thalmor, that Talos worship shall be outlawed. We are simply here to ensure that the Empire does not renege on that commitment. Guilt. Why should I feel guilt? I'm a Thalmor Justicar, yes, but the Aldmeri Dominion is not a single consciousness. This empire is a political entity. It has committed untold acts of persecution and genocide in the past. One need only have a cursory knowledge of the Tiber Wars and imperial history to know this to be true. Tiber Septim, the man-god so many Nords and Imperials love to revere, was himself guilty of the sins you attribute solely to the Dominion. But I digress. I am a soldier of the Thalmor, and I carry out the duties assigned to me by my superiors. If your goal is to make me feel guilty for enforcing dictates which your own emperor signed into law, then I'm afraid you will enjoy precious little success. I haven't given it very much thought. My enjoyment is irrelevant. I have a role within the Thalmor, and the duties which go along with that. I have fulfilled and will continue to fulfill that which is asked of me to the best of my ability. Again, my enjoyment, or otherwise, is irrelevant. I am Altmer. I was born and raised among the wizard lords of Alinor, and now I am posted to a frigid squat filled with brutes and drunkards. That doesn't exactly lend itself to a warm disposition. Does that make things any clearer? Then it appears I was incorrect in my initial assessment of you. Though don't flatter yourself. We're not best friends simply because I've stopped pelting you with barbed words. But yes, to put a long story short, we are all products of our environment, are we not? Bye.
Oh look, an infant. How quaint. Hunt down and execute Talos worshippers, keep people in line, and enforce the White Gold Concordat. Surely the better question would be, why so patient? Because I can tell you in no uncertain terms that you are trying my patience with your primitive blubbering and inane questions. Leave me. Oh, but we practically do. I presume even one such as yourself is aware of the White Gold Concordat, yes? That document guarantees the Thalmor the end of worship of that miserable little man-god the Nords so love to falsely revere, Talos. We need to ensure that this agreement is upheld. Farewell. Don't even think about it, footpad. Hey, watch it!
What do you need?
Heard there were beasties around. Be careful, traveler.
Hello? You what? And what's that there? I see. Cutters, huh? I swear those damned bandits are getting bolder and bolder. They'll rule the entire county soon. Here. Have this. A little bit of coin. Least I can do. Here's hoping Avar can return here in time. Always glad to have a customer. This here's Northern Arms, and the guy you're looking at is a master blacksmith. Even if I do say so myself. Ah, glad to see you noticed. These furnishings don't come cheap. Well, normally I keep my finances private, but just this once. For the whole smithy? And the furnishings outside? 10,000 septims. Indeed it is. I am, however, in a rather fortunate position. I have a contract with the Count to outfit his forces with arms and armor. And because of that, I have a steady source of income. Beats the on and off work I used to rely on. I set up here as a blacksmith. The Count wanted a blacksmithing contract. He did the sensible thing. Relatively good, as of late, I'd say. Hostilities are boiling under the surface here in Cyrodiil. Have been for a while. No one dares make the first move, but everyone's waiting for it with bated breath. That means they're arming themselves in preparation for rainy days to come. And that means customers for blacksmiths such as myself. Not to sound like a war profiteer, of course. Sure, they're not walking around in armor with swords in their scabbards all the time, but people are keeping a weapon handy a lot more these days. Never know when you'll need to defend yourself from a party of Thalmor Justiciars. Don't tell Armion I said that. They know a storm is on the horizon, and soon enough all of our lives are about to become a lot more dangerous. They want to be prepared. See you around?
Welcome. The name's Edvia. I'm Holgard's assistant. About me? Not really much to tell. Well, okay, there's no easy way to put this, but my family wants me to marry this diplomat in the Imperial City. They say he's charming and handsome and witty, but I know what they really mean. He's rich, and he's going to bring wealth to the family. Wealth and influence. But I don't want money or power. I want someone I love, and he isn't it. Holgard is. But, well, he's proven more than a little resistant. So far. Bye.
Invites you to his boutique of magical wonders. Don't delay. Patronize today. Suckered by the Synod, weary of the whispers, why not go somewhere more agreeable? Resada the Resplendent's boutique of magical wonders.
Spare a coin for an old veteran. I, that I am, fought in the Great War against the Dominion. I lost my weapon, lost my sight, and lost my freedom. Can't do much now on account of my eye. If only I had an extra septum to help me buy a loaf of bread. I've heard a thing or two, but it's going to cost you. Haha, yes, that's what I like. Thank you. Have you heard that bard, Reynard? He's probably one of the worst musicians I've ever heard. And I've heard the wailing of old Caroltus cockeyed. Lots of them. I was there, you know. At the Battle of the Red Ring. I saw the bloodshed. The chaos. I had a journal. Kept a record of all that I went through. But those damned bandits came through and stole all my belongings. Journal included. Serves me right for trusting that slimy Argonian and the tavern. Cowers and Corners, or whatever his name is. You do that for an old beggar? Praise the divines! I'll reward you as best as I am able. Bless you, madam. Bless you. Leaving already? Oh, all right.
Excuse me, sorry to bother. I don't suppose you've seen any priceless Akaviri heirlooms gallivanting around Bruma, have you? Akaviri heirlooms. Priceless Akaviri heirlooms. Seen any? Very funny. I'd laugh if I weren't too tired to get the sound out. Just, let me know if any do crop up, yeah? Thanks. A whole lot of uproar about nothing, that's what. The Count's been nagging my life and soul out about the damn things. You see, the Carvanes have a sort of family tradition. They've acquired a taste for Akaviri artifacts, constantly collecting more and more. Been going on for centuries now. Well, it turns out poor old Count Decilus, Count Carvane, isn't too happy that his collection's been stolen. No, not tensions as such, just... I'm tired. I've had 4 sleepless nights in a row. The Count's talking my ear off about these artifacts, and it's stopping me from tending to more important issues. Not that I'm disloyal to Count Carvane, of course. I've never had reason to dislike our ruler. Better him than some of the other counts and countesses in the province. Well, that's... Oh, who am I kidding? Absolutely. This is driving me crazy. Just bring them back to me when you found them and I'll be extremely appreciative. And I mean extremely appreciative. Seriously. I feel like offing myself right about now. I have no idea how they'd manage that, honestly. Either adept stealth or good luck. Probably a bit of both. Not in particular. Then again, the lowlives of Bruma don't exactly hide themselves all that well. The shadier tavern in town, the Restful Watchman, full of thieves, bandits, thugs, and other miscreants, might be a decent place to start your search. Akaviri artifacts. I don't know anything more specific than that. Rignar and the Count both told me, but honestly it flew in one ear and out the other. If you want to know exactly what artifacts to keep your eyes peeled for, talk to Rignar. I'm sure he can help you more there. I'm not too sure on the details of that, to be honest. Rignar, the castle steward, was the first one who noticed them missing. Might be worth speaking to him, if you think that's interesting evidence to dig up. Almost definitely the resale value. Akaviri artifacts are very often one of a kind, and they can fetch a very high price to the right buyers. Someone possessing those artifacts could find themselves becoming very wealthy very quickly. I suspect that's the motive here. It's tough. On one side, you've got criminals, the kind that like to hide behind law and policy to wriggle out of justice. On the other, you've got politics, constantly meddling in our affairs as everyone walks on eggshells. And here I am in the center, just trying to make things work for the people. Sometimes I wish I'd stayed down in the Imperial City. Yep, me and my family. Wife and children are still there, in fact. Left because the place is swarming with people. Hard to find any work. Came up here, couldn't find much work either. Joined the guard on a whim. Saw a lot, rose to the ranks. And now I'm guard captain. Funny how things work out. I try to take my duties seriously, and send as much as I can back to my loved ones. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. We have it fairly okay compared to some other parts of the province. The problem is that the criminals here aren't driven to it out of desperation. They just want the coin, to get rich. They know how to game the system. Except Tacto. He's... well, never mind. I've probably told you too much. You're right. Well, listen. Tacto's a thief. Likes to call himself a cat burglar. Funny Khajiit sense of humor. But it's funny, he steals from those who don't deserve what they have. Like, say, other thieves or power-mad politicians. And then he sells the stuff. With a discount for those who truly need it, no less. I don't understand that cat. But I can't really complain. As thieves go, he's one of the better ones. But he currently has charges leveled against him from Cetus, the owner of Icewind Traders. So that's that. More than you might think. Between the Count, the White Gold Concordat, and all the other treaties, the rules are constantly changing. All I want to do is protect these people, jail criminals, earn my keep. And then the damned wind changes, and with it, the law. And then, what do you know? I'm supposed to jail this group, and that group, and the other group. And for what? For politics. Despite it all, though, I wouldn't trade this job for the world. It's rewarding, fulfilling, and at least it lets me provide for myself and my family. Until next time.
Marcius Carvane, Viscount Brew.
Seen any goblins around? Primitive little things, but damn if they won't swarm you. See you.
I'm the Count Steward here in Pruma. So the guard captain's actually looking into it. Excellent. Can't have the Carvane artifact collection lost to some random burglar. I didn't know. I was just doing the rounds here in the castle. I was about to go to bed for the night when I noticed something. Normally there's a little glint in the corner of my eye. The light bouncing off of one of the Akaviri amulets. But this time, nothing. I went to investigate, and the artifacts were gone. I'm sorry I can't be of more use. Some amulets, some rings, a katana, all of Akaviri design. Priceless relics. Very valuable and very well loved by the Count. Best of luck with your investigation. I know you're there. I hope you're not trying to pickpocket me.
What do you need? I am Silas Carvane. I have the singular honor of acting as Count of Bruma, defending her walls and ruling over her people. I am young, and I know some use this as ammunition with which to criticize me, but they are short-sighted, and they are foolish. I act in the best interest of Bruma at all times. I will always fight valiantly to defend her from threats both within and without. That is what matters. Well enough, I suppose. The Great War mostly spared Bruma. Thank the Divines for that. Most of Cyrodiil didn't have such good fortune. Not particularly, no. I certainly don't envy my friends across the border in Skyrim, though. These are truly dark times for the Empire. Let us hope that this storm blows over, as of all the rest. But something makes me think this one's different. I fear Tamriel will never be the same again. If it's work you seek, speak with my Viscount, Marcius Carvane. He's more likely to have work for you than I. He spends most of his time in the castle. It's a complicated task, let's put it that way. On the one hand, there are the Imperials. On the other, there are the Nords. And then, there are the other cultures to contend with as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the Stormcloak uprising in Skyrim has complicated things to a certain extent. But I'm proud to serve Bruma and her people. Bruma is the jewel of the Geralt Mountains, a strong and hardy city, imperial in name, but equally Nordic by blood. And while the county surrounding her is frosty, as Viscount Carvane says, the hearts of our people burn brighter than the warmest hearth. We have our share of problems, I won't deny that, but Bruma is a prosperous county given the times. Compared to Shadenhall and Breville, Bruma might as well be paradise, and at least we were spared the horrors of the Great War. Mostly. It didn't, mostly, and thank the Divines for that. Of course, there were Dominion scouts roaming the Gerals on occasion, but that's to be expected. Minor skirmishes are not what people refer to when they speak of the horrors of the Great War, though. They mean the Battle of the Red Ring. They mean the sacking of Anvil. And these are evils that Bruma was spared. Her walls remain unharmed, and her buildings remain upright. That being said, Cyrodiil herself reels after the Great War, emotionally and psychologically. It took its toll on the whole province, and Bruma is no exception. Bruma may be spared the physical scars of the Great War, but the mental scars, they run just as deep here as they do anywhere. Goodbye. Is there something I can do for you?
Alchemical wonders, all here.
For clothing sale, I mean, clothing for sale.
Heal wounds, restore willpower, regain your energy. Potions for sale here.
I've got rooms. I don't tend to gossip about my patrons. Bad for business, you know, especially when you're in my line of work. Well, true enough. There's this Breton guy who comes through here every now and again. Sleaziest guy I've ever seen. Except for me, of course. Got a reputation to maintain, you know? Name's Etienne. Or something like that. Anyway, he mentioned something to do with Akaviri trinkets while we spoke. Mentioned wanting to sell them, or something. I guess he's your man. I don't know. Listen. Do you really think I'm going to tell you everything about my customers? That's a sure way to get run out of this business. Listen, you want me to tell you so badly? Make me. I'm not budging until I've been forced to, legally. You know what I'm getting at, I assume. You here to do business? See you around.
Within the walls, Bentior wants legal pressure. Well, I think we can certainly accommodate him there. Take this, a letter with my signature. Show it to him and he's sure to change his tune.